The Governor-General coming in on the 1st of July, I do believe, she's coming into a well-earned pay increase of 43%, moving her up to $709,000 a year. Senator Malcolm Roberts made the point that Labor is deceitfully claiming that the income increase is due to the fact that David Hurley, the previous Governor-General, received a military pension on top of his salary. But Malcolm Roberts also made the point, if Sam Mostyn wants to be paid a military pension, she should have joined the military and done the service. Craig, what did you think about this one?
Firstly, I love that earlier meme you put up there, sort of thing of the rats in Parliament House. I think that's an absolute that's absolute beauty. It's a photograph. It really sums up. That's right.
Exactly.
Some people think it's an AI image, but it's actually a true real life. Look, it just shows how out of touch the Albanese government is to do this. How out of touch. Now, remember when Tony Abbott decided that he would knight Prince Philip, how everyone went into meltdown. And I said at the time, that didn't cost anyone a single cent. Yet here we are. They've whacked her salary up, $210,000 increase a year. And remember, the Governor-General would not put their hand in their pocket for anything. They've got they've got Yarralumla. I know many probably Australians haven't been there. It's a magnificent residence. It's got these beautiful manicured lawns, right? So you've got the gardener, the pool boy, the security. They've got chefs and servants all laid on there, paid at the taxpayer expense. You've got Commonwealth cars to drive you anywhere where you go with your own chauffeurs, right? You've got access to the VIP, the RAF VIP jets. And what is your job? You're effectively basically going to garden parties and handing out awards. It's not as though it's any great jobs, great high significance or great important decisions they have to make. It's a completely ceremonial role. And what my real concern is about these, we're seeing this time after time of these huge amounts being paid to these government funded, really effectively unproductive jobs. Young people today, we want to encourage young kids in Australia today to get involved in entrepreneurial activity that adds value to the economy. That's how we should be directing it. But if you were a young kid today, you would look at all these massive salaries in the public servants. You think, well, why would I bother going into private business and taking all the risks involved in it? I can get in the government service. I can suck up the greasy pole. I can be as woke as I possibly can, and I'll get rewarded with these huge taxpayer jobs and get that. That's how I become a rich person, rather than through entrepreneurial activity. And that, I think, is one of the greatest concerns that I have. And Albanese knows exactly what he's doing. This encourages wokeness as well.
Well, she can join the military now, Craig, because the military is now asking, if you want to join the army, what are your pronouns?
That's right.
Didn't you see that?
I saw that.
Well, she can join. She's woke enough. She can tell us all her pronouns.
Speaking about that, have you guys noticed, and I've seen a few people say this on TikTok, have you noticed that a lot of the military ads in the UK are now featuring more white men? That's when you know we're going to war, because they've stopped trying to do their diversity quotas and they're like, no, hang on, we actually have to recruit now.
But what are we going to do? Go into battle with Gucci handbags swinging? I mean, seriously, in high heels? We can't. We need to have men with testosterone who are actually willing to protect our nation. I'm sorry, I'm being a bit sexist, and I'm sure somebody will have a lot to say about it, but...
No, you're totally right.
This is the military. Right. It is not a tea party.
No, absolutely. And, I was looking at this a couple of years ago, 2019. I knew two people that were brother and sister. The girl applied to join the military 6 months actually, after the boy applied. The boy was still waiting. After 6 months, he hadn't heard from them. The girl, within a couple months, it was pretty much immediate. They were like, yep, no worries, you can start Monday initial training. And it's like, what are we doing here? We're complaining of this whole system, top to bottom. What have you done?
This is it. I think hell has a special place for heads of HR departments who, are woke. I mean, this is the thing. It's HR departments that are notoriously woke, that people for some reason, well, I guess, are just absolutely terrified to stand up to, and they just destroy departments. They destroy institutions from within. Whether it's a commercial corporation, whether it's a football team, whether it's a university, doesn't matter. They just get in there and they just have this this incurable disease that they have to change everything in accordance with diversity, equity, and inclusion.
It's called a godlike complex.
Exactly. They're creating it all in their own image. Although, ironically, a lot of the people who do this are actually middle-class, well-to-do white women, not actual sort of downtrodden minorities. But with the army, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, they want to make the reason they're asking for pronouns, and they're asking for your sexuality as well. The stated purpose by a spokesman for the army for this was, we want to make sure the army is diverse and inclusive so we can attract the best. Now, it seems to me, though, that if your great fear in life is being misgendered, then you're probably not the kind of person that we want fighting for us in a war. Like, if that's the kind of thing that would put you in the fetal position.
Absolutely. I so agree with you. Why in God's name do we need to divulge our sexuality to go to war? What are they going to do on the war field? Sorry, but...
They're not going to ask.
No one's going to care when there is a gun pointed at your head, whether you are gay, lesbian, trans, whatever.
No.
It does not matter. We all become the same on a battlefield. We're all the same.
This is a courage deficit. You know, this is the thing. Why do organisations fall to this? Because of two kinds of people. True believers who are just muddled and confused and, as you say, have a God complex and just have to be in control of everything. It has to look exactly how they think it should. And they're brainwashed by the universities. Let's not let them off the hook. But the other kind of person is the coward that lets this happen. Either the coward who lets this happen or the man without a chest. That is, the man who doesn't believe in anything other than his own comfort and not rocking the boat so he can stay where he is in the organisation. When you get the fanatic and you get the coward or the man without a chest together, it doesn't get more dangerous than that. And that's what destroys institutions.
But remember, these are the people that are getting promoted through the public service in Canberra. And that's where the Governor-General, that's why she got the job, because she was one of these great woke people that promoted all these things. So even if you're sitting in Canberra and you believe this is all nonsense, you want to go along because it's a way for a promotion to get up the greasy pole.
Yep, you're the coward or the man without a chest. Yeah, that's right.
Don't say man, Stephen. Can't say man.
Person. Person without a chest.
Speaking of courage, the UK, once again, this is just a developing story with regards to the UK election. First off, I have to make it very clear. Why are you focusing on the UK, Joel? It's because this is a country-sized case study with regards to how to take back your country. The Conservative Party in the UK have completely failed them, a bit like the Liberal Party, but they're not as bad. In the UK, they're shocking. They ruined an 80-seat majority that they had, and they achieved nothing. They didn't properly deliver on Brexit. And then with regards to the Labor Party, they're coming in and looks like they're about to win this election. Nigel Farage has been soaring in the polls in the last few weeks, and we've been tracking that on this show. He's a friend of the show, actually. We brought him out in 2022 for a tour. Just this week, the establishment thinks that they've got him. They think that they've got him with this story about Russia, and they're trying to basically say that Nigel Farage is blaming the West for Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This is what kicked this off. It was this interview that he did on Panorama, I do believe. And I totally agree with what Nigel said, but I'll let you guys be the judge of that.